Welcome,
Hi.
Mr. Slash. Welcome to Milan and welcome to Linea Rock.
Hi.
An honor for us. Um, so you're here to present the new album, World of Fire, which is ready,
Right.
but will be released in September.
Yeah.
The title and the title track is a very strong statement, very up to date considering the age we're living in. Why that song is the leading one for you, and is the whole album a reflection about today?
No. Okay. The song, the lead up song, the lyrics to World on Fire as a song are really not social, political, or anything
Okay.
like that, or current event driven. It's more of a rock and roll sort of sex and drugs statement.
Okay.
And the energy of it was why we picked it for the first song. It was just up tempo and just in your face kind of thing. But as far as the title for the album is concerned, when I heard that title, Miles presented the lyrics, I was like, maybe that would be the title for the record. And now as a record title, yeah, it does have a broader kind of meaning, and it does fit in what we're living in right now.
Yeah.
So it made sense to me, and the artwork as well, which was very chaotic and a lot
Yes.
of million different things happening at once. It all made perfect sense. Yeah.
So you made the artwork. Actually, it was your idea, or because when you look at it, it seems like just a mix of colors. But when you look at it, in details, you see the rest.
Yeah, when you actually see the actual cover, it's twice as big as that's only what you've seen is only the front half.
Okay.
But there's another half.
All right.
So it's a fold over. And when you take the slash and the conspirators off, because it covers stuff up, because it's only that's a sleeve that goes, a clear sleeve that goes over it. Anyway, so the painting was already done, but I know the artist, and I couldn't think what artwork I wanted, but I knew I wanted chaos.
Okay.
And I called him up and I said, "Do you have anything crazy that I haven't seen?" And so he sent me like 5 or 6 pieces, maybe 7 pieces, and I picked that one. I was like, "Oh, that's perfect."
Okay.
So it was already there.
What does it mean for Slash having his own record label? Is that a vicious declaration of independence for somebody that can dictate the rules as you can, or it's simply the need of an artist that has a perfect view of his career?
Actually, it's probably a combination of all three, because if you look at the state where rock and roll is in right now, the last place you want to be is on a record label.
Yes.
And the fact that after all these years of doing this, that I've finally become in a position to be able to dictate that I can have my own record label as opposed to having to do a major label. Sort of, that's how that manages to happen. And then also, I like to be in control of what it is that I'm doing. I don't want to hand it over to somebody else. Okay. So they're all three of those.
So freedom, control, and
Yeah,
independence.
yeah.
Do the fact of having such an important career behind influence every move you make and every new album, or each time it is actually a total new experience for you?
It's pretty much a new experience. I mean, I've been doing it long enough where I sort of know I'd like to think I know a little bit what I'm doing. But at the same time, when you sit down to start writing a song and where that's going to go, I have no idea. And and then there's however many of those you're going to put together to make a record. It becomes its own little journey. So it's every time I do it, it's a unique experience. It's the same as going out on that tour.
Okay. At the moment, do you actually work as a band, or all the ideas start from you and then Miles and then the band?
It works like I come up with the music and then I go to the band and work that up into some sort of cohesive arrangement, and then send it to Miles, and then we all get together and then work out the nuts and bolts and get the arrangement exactly right.
How long did it take this time?
A couple of weeks.
Wow, cool.
I think we spent let's see, January, February in pre-production, then our producer Mike Biscott came in for March and sort of fine-tuned all the 17 pieces. Okay. And then April, we went in the studio and recorded.
And then,
Yeah.
so how the Conspirators stand out as a band from anything you've done before, including, Snake Pit, Velvet Revolver, and Guns N' Roses, of course.
Well, I think more than anything, I mean, I've worked with a lot of great people all along, and I've been pretty lucky, but I think this is the most cohesive, like sort of chemistry of any of the bands that I've worked with in a long time,
Appetite for Destruction still remains one of the most successful bestseller debut albums, in the history of rock and roll. Looking back at it as one of the main creative forces in it, but with the experience that you gained, now through the years, can you explain to yourself first why it was so huge, and is there any recipe for such a great success that you have in mind when you have a new album to make?
It's so funny because I mean, I understand what a big influential. I mean, I'm so proud of the fact that I was involved in a record that had that kind of impact.
Yeah.
But if you were to tell me back then that that's what it was going to be, I would never have believed you. It was just a record made by this 5 characters, and looking back on it, there was something in all that spoke to people in a certain way. It's like it's like a very streetwise band, but with a very naive kind of worldview.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It was a social commentary, but it wasn't about the world at large. It was an internal sort of angst that teenagers, I guess, really related to, and it was delivered with a kind of impact that really had a big, effect on people. And it's the combination of emotions and energy and all this stuff that you couldn't really even be replicated. It was just something that happened in the moment. That's, I mean, I remember when the record was finished, I thought we'd be a really cool cult band.
Okay. And you were right in a sense, but that after, and is it true, the Paul Stanley story, that he has to produce the record? And did you actually read his book, Face the Music, which is out now and it's very popular? Are you in it?
I haven't read it. I do know that there's some mention of me in there.
Okay.
And it's funny because in this millennium, like I think 2006, I sort of buried the hatchet with Paul, and so now we're sort of on a hello basis.
Okay.
But I'm not sure what his version of the story in the book is.
And do you want to find out, or you don't mind?
I don't really care.
Okay. Getting older, you're also getting a little bit wiser, or when you get your Les Paul in your hands, it's like nothing ever changed for you. I mean, you're still Slash, or now that you're getting older, you're more Soar Hudson, or for you?
I don't even know how to answer that one. I mean, I'm basically the same, so whatever that is to you, I go.
Okay, so what you get is what you see.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm not very complicated.
Okay. And you're one of the most well-known and best guitarists in rock history. How does it feel for you? And would you ever bet your life on yourself in the very beginning?
I wouldn't bet my life on myself. Well, I mean, I guess you sort of had to. I guess I had to back in the day, but I really didn't expect to be around that long. As far as what was the first part of the question?
That you're very well known and the best, one of the best guitarists.
That's always a tough one for me, because as far as guitar playing is concerned, there's so many amazing, like unbelievable guitar players out there that I hate to put myself on any kind of pedestal whatsoever. For me, that it's just a work in progress, and I believe that sometimes I have my moments and I'm really happy.
Okay.
And then there's other times where I really need to work on it harder, so.
16th of November is Torino, and 17th November is going to be Florence. Why everyone watching, this interview should go buy a ticket right over, soon after, finish watching this interview for the shows that you're about to.
I just think it's going to be, I mean, I'm really looking forward to the tour, and it's a pretty awesome band. The I mean, I can't sell myself,
Okay.
but they're gonna be great shows. I think that they will be doing a lot of new material, and we'll be doing old material, and it's just one of those kind of rock and roll shows that you don't see that kind of rock and roll show that much anymore.
And what's very special in VIP packages? I mean, there's gonna be any meet and greet or a...
I don't like doing meet and greets. I like meeting people, and I usually like to do it for free after the show. But I have a really hard time. I refuse to sell tickets to meet me at this point. Even though people like to do it, I don't like doing it. It's not as personable, as far as I'm concerned, as as just meeting people for nothing. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Slash. Thanks for your time.